Well, Matt Melzak is joining us now as the Toledo Mud Hens back home this week. Good news, they'll take on Buffalo, have good weather in the forecast. We'll talk about that series in a little bit, but let's face it, May was not a good month. June has not been off to a good start either for these Hens.
Yeah, I think you got to look at the totality of everything. When you start losing so many guys up to the big league roster right now, and you look at Detroit and the fact that they're one of the top two teams in all of baseball and guys on injured reserve right now and on IL, that tells you a lot. And because there's only so many guys that you can continue to fill that roster with. Maybe you can get away with, 3 or 4. You expect that over the course of the year. But trying to go through and say, okay, I think the Tigers have, 13 guys right now on IL. It's hard to sustain those numbers and to sustain what the Mud Hens were doing early in the season because, they had a good month of April. Very good month. They had the winning month of March. They had a winning month of April. And then, boom, you get into May, and all of a sudden that attrition just starts to hit you. And there's only so many pieces that Anthony Iapoce can move to make things work, and right now it's just not.
I know you're not a huge fan of the expected win-loss record, but when you look at that, Hens are actually better than what they perhaps should be. So they found some ways to win games that perhaps they shouldn't have.
Yeah, and that'll happen when you have some guys that can deliver some big hits right now. And you look at, like Justin Henry, Malloy can come through, Parker Meadows. Michael Papierski's been really good as of late for the Mud Hens. So you got some guys that are doing some things, but, maybe not that entire lineup. And then when they do score a bunch of runs. That's when the pitching staff struggles to get anybody out, and it happens sometimes. You get into bad stretches. You're talking about a long season, Mark. You're talking 150 games. Look at in the major leagues, it happens to teams there too. There's a lot of people who wouldn't want to play St. Louis right now, when a month ago everybody wanted to play St. Louis. So it comes and goes in waves, and we'll see the Mud Hens go on an upswing here soon.
And as we've talked about in the past, AAA baseball has gone to the split season format. So in 20 days, June 25th, you can flush this entire first half of the season. Goes, it's a new season. We'll take care of business in the second half.
That's right. All you got to do is win the second half. Then you get an opportunity to play what would be Norfolk, because they're not going to. They're the last time I checked, 6 up on anyone right now in the first half standing. So you'll have an opportunity there in the second half, and I think that's why they wanted to go Major League Baseball. That is to go to the first half, second half format instead of the whole year, because of the fact that you get so much attrition. And you look at last year and the way the Mud Hens finished the year, they would have been the second half champs. They would have been a playoff team if we were under this format a year ago. So it is a possible thing that, hey, whatever, just this thing's out the door now, let's go the other way.
So Buffalo comes into town this week, and there's a lot of fun activities coming up, particularly this weekend. You've got a youth camp on Thursday, and then it's play ball weekend. Great opportunity to grow the game.
Yeah, it really is, and an opportunity to get a lot of youngsters out and get them exposed to the great game of baseball, because it really is, it's America's pastime. It is the sport of sports, when you think about it over the course of the years here in the United States. So, this is a game you want to see it continue to grow. You want to see it get better. I think that's why Major League Baseball put all these rules in. They've really emphasized stuff like this weekend, especially at the minor league level. It's going to be big. Head to mudhens.com right now for more info.
Yeah, chance to play and learn from the game, from the pros. And if you can't make it out to the ballpark, you can catch the games live right here on BCSN. Matt Melzak, thank you so much for coming in.
Hey, thanks, Mark.